Hi guys, I am going to have you use regular markers, so like Crayola markers, any off-brand markers that are water-based, which is most markers. And I want you to choose 5 colors, but don't choose black because we'll do something with black later. I want you to choose colors that you think they're kind of close to each other in the color wheel. So not like opposites, not like you wouldn't choose like a red and a green because they're far away from each other. Try to choose, like, stay in the blues, blue greens, blue purples, regular green, green yellow, like stay in that area. Or you could do like blue violets, red violets, orange red, like those kind of colors. But try and choose up to 5. You can have as few as 2, but between 2 and 5 that you think are near each other or next door to each other on the color wheel. Okay, and what you're gonna do with them is you're just gonna make some weird freeform shapes. Okay, freeform shape is a shape with no name. Okay, so here I have kind of a nice thicker paper, like this is a watercolor paper. Try not to pick a thin paper at home. If you need to wait to do this assignment until you get some supplies from me at school, that is totally possible. So this Thursday and Friday, I'm going to give you take-home kits. Each of you is going to get a bag with some stuff in it. So if you're a person that doesn't have this kind of stuff at home, you'll be able to get it when you're face-to-face and then do your virtual work at that time. Okay, so it's taking me a while to color this freeform shape in. You are making some abstract art right now, so I want you to make art that we're not quite sure what it is. And it's also going to be what they call non-objective abstract art, meaning it doesn't have a subject matter. So right now I basically have my blue blob. It looks kind of black in the screen there. I'm going to hook on another freeform shape to it and color it in. This size paper that I'm using is a 5x7. You can do bigger if you want to. That's up to your ambition. But try to stay at least a 5x7 inch size, and try to choose paper that's a little bit thicker if you can. If you don't have any and you want to wait till you get to school, that's fine. So it's going to take me a little bit, okay? But I'm going to fill this all up with like weird freeform shapes, okay, and color them in. Now let's pretend I did all that. Then I want you to get some water, and if you have a spray bottle that you can spritz, like you use for plants or something, that would be great. If you don't have that at home, you could put your picture, I would recommend putting like maybe a plastic bag underneath so it doesn't seep through, because this marker is going to bleed through the paper onto whatever's underneath it. So you want to like put something underneath to not wreck something at your house. But if you didn't have a spray bottle, you could like take water and do drips on it. And what's going to do is going to take that marker, which is really basically like a watercolor paint when it gets wet, and it's going to turn it into a painting. And it keeps working like after you put the water on it. So like less is more is my point. If you put so much water on it that you're like making the color go off the page, you know, onto whatever you have underneath it, you're gonna get not as much pigment, not as much color on your paper. So just if you have a spray bottle, just spray it lightly. You can always add more water if you don't think it blended enough. I have a piece over here that is similar to what you're doing here. Totally abstract. It's non-objective, meaning it has no subject matter. Okay. And then we're going to take this and we're going to take really fine Sharpies or microns. And if you have those at home, awesome. If you don't, I might give you a fine Sharpie to keep in your take-home baggie too. So what I did is I looked at my picture, and to me it kind of reminded me of like icicles. And I think I'm gonna hold the picture this way. I'm still kind of undecided, but it's still abstract because I'm not quite sure what it's supposed to be. I can't tell what the artist was thinking for sure, or what they were trying to make. But what I'm doing now is, after it's all dry, I'm taking my marker and I'm finding those color change areas, okay? And I'm very carefully and in a fuzzy kind of way, like following all of those color changes. And what I also did too is, you can see some of my picture is white because I took a white charcoal, and I'm doing some highlights on there because I kind of wanted it to look like icicles or shimmering ice, but also abstract at the same time. So that's what my plan is for your virtual this week. So again, get a paper 5x7 at least, kind of thick, and then I need you to color it with water-based markers and then get it wet. Okay, and then you can bring it to school on your next face-to-face day if you want to show it to me. And then after that, we'll talk more about what we can do with this. Okay, thank you guys.